Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anubhuti. If you're new here, hi, welcome. And I love to talk about everything beauty related. So skincare, hair care, makeup, body care, whatever products I use, I like to share my reviews about it here. I have super sensitive skin, which means my reviews are influenced by that factor. And also I like to use my makeup collection rather than going out and buy everything new. I do purchase makeup. It's not like I don't, but I also like to use a makeup which is existing in my collection. And also, I have been doing project planning content recently just to get use out of my makeup collection more efficiently. So if these are the things you are interested in, please make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell before we jump into today's video. So, as you know from the title, today we are back with the first update of my No Pan Left Behind project plan. If you have no idea about what this project is, then you choose basically a number of palettes and then you work on them no pan left behind style, which means you have to use each shade at least one time in that palette before you roll it out of the project. And then once you have met your goal on certain palettes, then you roll them out and you roll new palettes in and you work on them no pan left behind style. So yeah, I have done my introduction video and I've chose my first set of 5 eyeshadow palettes in last month. I will link that introduction video in the description box below, so make sure to check it out just to see what I chose and how I chose. And yes, I'm super excited about today's update. So let's talk about progress I've made on the palettes that I chose last month. So first palette that was rolled in my No Pan Left Behind project was Sigma Ambiance. And this is how my Sigma Ambiance palette is looking like. I have actually used this palette once in last whole month, and that is also today. So I created today's look using this palette. Let me go shade by shade to show you which shades I used. So I used this shade, which is almost like neutral toned matte shades to set my eyes, and then I used this darker shade one time. And in the bottom row, I have used 8, 10, and then 12, 13, and 14. So out of 14 shades, I have used 7 shades at least once in this project, which means I still have to use the rest of the 7 shades before I can move it out of the project. So this is going to stay in for now. The next palette that was rolled in was Makeup Revolution Foil Frenzy Hybrid. So this is all matte, all metallic palette, and these are all foil metallics. I have not used this formula before. I have used Makeup Revolution's metallic shimmer formula, and I'm really fond of that because I can use it as an eyeliner. That's what I was expecting from this one too. So as you can see, I have usage on only 3 shades. So this, and this. So this is like shade number 1, 2, and shade number 9. I have tried this shade number 2 is what I'm using in my inner corners today, and also this shade number 1, I tried to use it as a eyeliner, like liner on my upper lash line, but it did not really work. So maybe I have to figure out how to use specifically this formula. Maybe this is not as pigmented as oil I'm used to from the metallics, but yeah, I think I will have to try it in different ways to figure out how to use this palette. So for now, out of 15 shades, I have used only 3. So I think this is gonna be for the longer run. If I can't use it as an eyeliner, then I think this will be in project for a really long time. So that was the palette number 2. Palette number 3 that was rolled in was my Morphe Jaclyn Hill original palette. I have rolled in quite big palettes last update. So this is what my palette looks like. I have the one from the start of the release, which means I have shade names on the back of the palette. Not really convenient. This palette did have some use in it before, but I think I'm glad this was rolled in because this was laying untouched for a really long time. So I'm glad that I pulled it out and I used it because it was part of this project. So let's go over shade by shade to see row by row which shades I've used how many times. So then in the first row, shade number 1 and 2, these are like pinky brightening shimmer kind of things. Not very impacted shimmer, but kind of shimmer matte kind of formula. And then the second one is kind of neutral based. So this is a little bit pinky tone. This is like a little bit golden tone. So these are the 2 shades I've used a lot. Both of them has 3 usage on them. Then shade number 3 is my most used shade in the palette. This is great transition shade. This is like a little bit darker than my skin tone, so then I used it as a transition shade in probably every look. And then shade number 4 had a 4 usage on it. Shade number 5 had 1 usage on it. Shade number 6 did not have any usage on it, and shade number 7 also had 1 usage on it. So basically I created a look with all the pinks. This is like beautiful duochrome shade. I really love this one. In the second row again, then I have shade number 8 and 9. Both have 1 usage usage on them. Shade number 10 has 2 usage on it. Shade number 11 again has 1 usage on it. Shade number 12, which is this red matte, I'm sure this is untouched. I have never used this shade because this is just like red, bright orangey kind of shades and just not my cup of tea and don't gravitate towards them. So this is untouched. And then shade number 13 and 14 both have 1 usage on. In row number 3, I have a shade number 15. This is also one of the most used metallics. I ended up using it as an inner corner highlight a lot. So this has 3 usage on it. Shade number 16 has 1 usage on it, and shade number 17 has 2 usage on it. So this I ended up using as, I think, eyeliner most of the time. Then I do not have any usage on these 2 shades. So you know the theme that warm mattes are not my favorites. And then I have shade number 20 and 21. The shade number 20 has 2 usage on it. This is like mauve matte shade. And then this is a beautiful metallic shade which has 1 usage on it. So this is row number 3. In row number 4, I have these brighter shade. This purple shade does not have any usage on it. This blue shade has 2 usage on it. Then the next 2 shades does not have any usage on it. Then shade number 26 has 1 use. 27 is again not used at all. This is too deep. I don't really go for those smoky shades on day-to-day wear. And then shade number 28 has 1 usage on it, which is this like cocoa shade. So in the last row, shade number 29 has 1 usage on it. 30, 31 and 32 does not have any usage on it. And then in the last 3 shades, I have 3 usage on this one, 2 usage on these each. I try to use these shades mostly in my brows. So this is the palette. I think I messed up with the update, but I think this is also staying. But I'm glad out of 35 pans that are in that big palette, I have managed to use 25 shades. So I'm super proud of it. 10 shades I still have to use, and I'm hopeful. I think I will be able to move it out of the project by the next update. Then let's move to some good news. So then the smaller palette that was rolled in was Natasha Denona Mini Love palette. This is a 5-pan palette, as most of you know, and I managed to hit no pan left behind style goal on this one and 2 usage basically. So then I have used this duochrome shade 1 time, this Moby matte 2 times, this 3rd shade also 1 time, and this champagne golden shade also 2 times, and this pinky shade, which is also metallic, I have used 1 time. So then I have managed to hit my goal on this one, which means I am going to roll in a new palette in this place. So I have managed to, yes, hit goal on this one. The last palette which was rolled in was Studio West Crystal Eyeshadow in the shade Maya. This is like also all metallic eyeshadow palette, and these are like the grungy metallics. It's like cocoa metallic, and then 1 cranberry, grungy gold, and cocoa or bronze, you can say, so which complement to Indian skin tone really well. I have used this trio 2 times each. So in each look, whenever I reach for it, I basically use all the 3 shades to create an eye look. I would just use any 2 of them as an eyeshadow and 3rd one as a probably liner. So then I have used each shade twice. So I have also managed to hit my goal on this one, which means we have managed to hit our goal of no pan left behind on 2 palettes. So then we get to roll 2 new palettes. Because I film on my phone, so I can't show you the Tiny Decision app right now, but I did my screen recording in advance for the 2 new palettes that are going to be rolled in. So the first palette that I'm going to be rolling is, I will put the screen recording here so then you can also see it. So the first palette that was rolled in was Urban Decay Naked Reloaded, and here it is. I'm happy this is rolled in because this is comparatively newer in my collection. Got rolled in because this does not have much usage on it, and really happy because I can get use out of these shades a lot, especially because the fall is coming. So then I'm super excited that this just got rolled in. I can't wait to have more usage on this one. So this was the first palette that was rolled in, and then the second palette that was rolled in on my Tiny Decisions app was Sigma Beauty New Mod Eyeshadow Palette. So this is here. This is actually very new to my collection. I recently got it in, I think, in my birthday month, and I was eyeing it for a really long time. I heard really good reviews about it. I've resisted that temptation, but then it was super cheap, like more than 50% discount on Feel Unique. So then I grabbed it, and then I'm happy that I did. Although it does not have any usage on it. This is super beautiful. You can again see this is almost very fall appropriate palette. So I'm super glad that this is also rolled in, and I'm super excited to get use out of it because I'm loving the formula in my Sigma Ambiance palette. I'm pretty excited. I'm very excited to try it out. So now we have the fast palette that I will be working on in the next month is Sigma Ambiance. Still have to use 7 shades in this one. And then Revolution Foil Frenzy Hybrid palette. So I still have to use 12 shades in this one. And then I have Morphe Jacqueline Hill palette. I still have to use 10 more shades to roll this one out. And then the new roll-ins are Urban Decay Naked Reloaded. This one has 12 shades in it. And then the Sigma new mod. This has 14 shades. So right now I have all the big palettes, but I'm super happy that I managed to hit go some of the shades already. I've managed to use some shades already in the previous months, and I'm super excited. I have 2 Sigma palettes to work on. But yeah, that's all about today's update. I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my blog sensitive.com. Everything will be linked down in the description box below. And have a good day, good night, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.